Shalom, Hebrews. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Okay, Hebrews. We already know that we Israelites and all the Hebrews that's been, doing the history with the Israelite Brotherhood, keeping up with the videos and subscribing and, just communicating with me, period. And most of all, the Hebrews to give support to the Israelite Brotherhood. All right, Hebrews, this is what we can do. As Israelites in this captivity. We know first of all we got to praise Almighty Yah, because ain't nothing gonna work, as we have seen through our established history. Ain't nothing gonna work unless you include Almighty Yah in it. That's just point blank. That's just point blank. But check it out. It's some things that we can do in this captivity that that can help us, and that can kind of like start to form a sense of unity. You know what I'm saying? And man, I think one of the most important things when Israelites wake up is that they should reject the religions. Oh man, you should reject the religions, off the flop. You know what I'm saying? You should be scared that you had even got tricked up into the religions or even believing in the religions. But we know that us Israelites start believing in the religions because of the transatlantic slave trade, and that it was prophesied that we would lose our heritage. And if you lose your heritage, then they gonna fill that void with something. They gonna fill that void with something. You know what I'm saying? They gonna fill that void with something. And then, that's what they did. And then ironically, that they gave us a break off, a remake of the same religion that we broke the covenant over. The Queen of Heaven religion, the Is, Horus, Ptah, Amen, Ra religions. And then how we broke the covenant over those religions, and how Christianity ain't nothing but a remodified a remake of the Is Horus concept and all that. It's like, I got a little history about the 16 crucified saviors and how that Jesus story in the New Testament is not unique at all. And then, if you know Tanakh history, you'll know that the Tanakh don't support the no demigod worship, and how that they took verses for the prophecy of King Messiah, King Josiah being born as a Messiah, and then how that they took his prophecies and then turned that into demigod worship. I'm gonna go in that, and I'm gonna make a video, about that name Emmanuel, and how they tried to take something from 735 to 701 BC, I think, with with Prophet Isaiah, with his story and stuff, where they try to take the demigod worship from. Excuse me, Hebrews. All right, check this out, Hebrews. Look, we can have, a sense of purpose in this captivity, and we can start forming. This would be the first seeds. We planting the first seeds. We rejecting all religions. You know what I'm saying? And then that's like another thing. I made a video about the Abrahamic religion, so-called religions. We know that Prophet Abraham ain't endorsed no religions. We know Prophet Abraham ain't endorsed no religions, and how did those religions come about? Is from the Israelites, our ancestors breaking the covenant and running off into Africa to do the Egyptian religion, which caused our enslavement. Which caused us to be here in the position that we're in today. All right, Hebrews, check this out. This is what we can do as Israelites in this captivity. We can reject the religions, and we can reject the unclean foods. Now, and it got hard to to sort out what's clean and what ain't clean in the food chain, because they done did the thing to the food chain, and how that they got all this food all mixed up, from the start into the end. But, you can not eat no pork, you know what I'm saying? And you can look and see if some pork visibly in the ingredients. And then that's like Hebrews, man, seafood. Oh man, I know, some of you Hebrews gonna hate giving up the water roaches and the crabs, the shrimp and the lobsters and stuff. But man, that stuff ain't good for you. And our ancestors were forbidden to eat that stuff and eat like the heathens. When you start waking up, we're supposed to form a new covenant. And it's not gonna be like the old covenant, like far as the sacrifices and temples, the sacrifice and all that. We ain't doing that no more. That's over with. But the unclean foods, it's a lot of laws in the Tanakh that we can keep, man. I'm talking about real simple laws, and they nice and cool to keep. That's like not eating no snails and rats and possums and all the alligators and snakes. And man, I had one Hebrew, man, he almost looked it like what he ate. Man, he told me, man, I'm from down in Louisiana, man, and I eat snake heads, alligator tails, and possums and turtles and frogs, and I make a gumbo out of it. Ah, man, I ain't even want to eat no more after I heard that mess. And then, look at him. Excuse me, y'all. I ain't trying to knock the brother, because we all got our faults. But, man, he looked just like what he ate. Man, I'm talking about looked terrible. And, hey, Hebrews, we don't have to eat the slave food that was forced up on us in the slavery days. Now, I tell you that the people, our Hebrews that sleep, that's called Negroes, African Americans, and all of those stuff, they subject to eat anything. But when you wake up as an Israelite, man, you ain't supposed to be eating no pig and no ham sandwiches and all this stuff. You ain't supposed to be eating that unclean stuff, and how the Tanakh outlined clearly that you ain't supposed to be eating no snake heads and turtle tails and all of those stuff. All of those stuff we was forced to eat in the slavery days, and it was like being degraded and humiliated having to eat that stuff, But then after slavery, man, and then we got a little biblical sense of who we are. Man, you ain't supposed to be eating no snails and no turtles and all of those stuff, no unclean stuff. And we know that our enemies, they try to label their food because sometimes they don't want to eat. They don't want to eat the unclean stuff. That's like, they got a way to eat the food secretly where they say that it don't have no pork and stuff in the food. And then, man, if you look at the ingredients, man, it's supposed to have a U and a D on it to show that the union of rabbis and pronounced it clean. We don't know how far that go, but they do have a little sense of not wanting to eat the unclean foods. Even the Jews don't want to eat the pig and the seafood, so they mark the food, what I'm saying, in codes and stuff, and they be on the canned goods and the breads and stuff, they so cold with poisoning the foods, man, that we can only pray to Almighty Yah that our captivity can kind of come to an end before long. Because if we keep eating the way that our enemies develop the food and put them in our communities, oh man, it's about over with. We can't last another 25 years up under these conditions and eating the way that we eat as a people. Now, if you got some money as a whole, and some of us Hebrews do got money, and then you can eat better, man, you blessed. But if you down at the bottom and you just got to eat, man, what you can to survive, and try to pick through, man, it's horrible, and we ain't gonna last long. The food causes hypertension, blood pressure. They got a dose, all kind of the food is cooked with mega salts, all kind of harmful salts and everything. And then that's part of the problems that we are suffering as a people here in captivity with dialysis and everything. Man, we being taken down through there. I mean, I'm talking about, man, the enemy's working overtime. We're trying to lessen our numbers as Israelites. We know that, that that's part of the captivity, is that the plagues of Egypt would be put on us. Those are curses, so it's gonna happen. But man, it's awful, but it's things that we don't have to eat. Man, it's things that you don't have to eat. You ain't got to eat no chitlins. You ain't got to eat no chitlins, and you ain't got to eat the pig guts no more. You ain't got to eat the pig nose and his feet and stuff. Man, can you believe that it's Hebrews still eating that stuff? Man, it's awful. But we don't have to do that no more. Slavery over with. You ain't forced to eat that stuff. And then this is what Almighty Yah had told us from the beginning about the foods. Man, if you go to Leviticus 11, and the Elohim spake unto Moses, where it come out of Egypt, probably in Egypt, them folks was eating everything, but I think even the Egyptians had enough common sense not to eat the pig, and that the pig gonna basically come in with foreigners coming in, and the peoples like the Canaanites and stuff. Now they subject to eat anything because they was doing the opposite of what Almighty Yah gave the Israelites to do. The Canaanites did the opposite. So if the Israelites wasn't supposed to eat the pig, you best believe the Canaanites ate the pig. If the Israelites wasn't supposed to worship no gods but Almighty Yah, you best believe the Canaanites worship all kind of gods. And as can be shown in their history from the Nile all the way to Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia was full of the Canaanite gods and so forth. All right, we come out of Egypt, and Prophet Moses got the law, and like I say, we ain't gonna be able to do the sacrifices, but some of these laws we can do, far as eating and stuff. Man, we ain't got to be eating no pig, man. You ain't got to eat no seafood. You ain't got to eat no crabs and lobsters and stuff, no matter how our enemies make that stuff appealing. Almighty Yah was against eating that stuff, and then that's why the water system is not good, and water is not healthy in the streams and stuff, because they eat all the animals that get rid of the waste and stuff in the water. Oh man, it's awful. Look, this is Leviticus 11. And the Elohim spake unto Moses and said to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Now, we know that this was back then, every bit of about 3,000 years ago, and that how that when we got the law, that you got to be thinking about then, and how times done change, but how the food chain is still the same. The food is still the same. The same animals that roamed the earth then is roaming the earth now. The same animals that they consumed back then, they are consuming now. Even though they done mutated a few species into existence that they can eat, but basically all the animals are still the same since the Creator created the animals, and that man started eating the animals. They've been eating the same ones, and it's people that ate unclean animals, but that ain't what the Creator wanted the Israelites to do. If we was gonna be a holy people to him, he didn't want us eating no unclean animals and stuff. And it makes sense, because those unclean animals cause all the diseases, and we know that the pig is the vehicle for the diseases. We know the pig is the vehicle for the diseases right now today. All right. And the Elohim spake unto Moses, saying to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parted the hoof and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. He chew his food and got a little pocket, I think in his jaw or something that he could keep, chewing and stuff. And and then he got hooves and stuff. All right. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or them that divided the hoof, as the camel, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. Now we know that them folks eating camel meat over there, man. That's probably a delicacy, man. Where they eating camels and stuff over there, and then we know them Hamites probably a butcher a camel too if they caught him running around, and that how some of them folks over there in the east eat camels. I wouldn't want to eat no camel. I sure wouldn't want to eat now. Look, all right. Let's see, all right. And the coney, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean to you. In the hair, that's that old nasty rabbit, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he divided the hoof, he and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean unto you. Man, we shouldn't eat no pig, man. The pig is a bad thing, and the pig is looked down upon in Tanakh history, man. I got Deuteronomy 14, 8. Let me see what that verse gonna say, because that's gonna be in relation to this food. Alright, Deuteronomy 14:8. Yeah, Hebrews, we can do better by the food eating. Man, if we start cleaning up our food and start rejecting our enemies' food that go along with the religions, man, they gonna start hurting when they come find out that all that stuff, all that idol worshiping food still in the store come around them holidays. They business finna go down. They already know it's finna happen anyway. That's why they come out with this illness to get themselves ready for a whole bunch of stuff that's finna take place dealing with the Israelites, but the world don't know about it because they been fooled on who the Israelites are, you see. But our enemies ain't dumb and stuff. They know what's going on. And then, yeah, when I say a enemy, you is a enemy of the Israelites if you don't accept us and acknowledge this truth and the Tanakh about us being Israelites and that we ran into Africa and then got enslaved. You is an enemy to the Israelites if you try to hinder our heritage in any kind of way and be thinking of hindering our heritage. All Jews are not against us Israelites being Israelites, because some of them don't know, as I explained to one Israelite. Some Jews don't know. They don't know the history. They just growed up and been told that they was the children Israel, and them, and they just went on about their life. But now that prophecy is taking place and that the Israelites was only supposed to be in bondage for a certain amount of time, and that the Creator Yah is waking us up, then it's not them folks' fault that they don't know. We can't blame somebody that don't know. Now I'm going to tell you what we can blame. This is what we can blame, is how this system, how we been enslaved up under these folks here in the Americas, and then how we been enslaved, and then how the people that enslaved us, descendants and children, are the police in the military, and then how they still dogging us out. The people that enslaved us, children, is the judges and the police in the military, and then how they still dogging us out and ain't showing us no love. And that's why Almighty Yah is bringing destruction on this country. Is no escaping. It's no escaping the people that know and been dealing with us and that know real Israelite history and know the truth about us, know that it's finna happen and that the show is about over with. Because you can't keep dogging us out, and after we've been enslaved, we broke the covenant. We broke the covenant from over here, and we do the punishment, that Almighty Yah said that we was gonna do, but our enemies have no compassion. No compassion. And Tanakh basically say that that's one of the curses. I'm finna read that, man, before I finish talking about this food. That's one of the curses is how that the enemy ain't gonna have no respect for the young or the old. For the young or the old, and how he just gonna dog everybody out. And then that's what's been happening to us Israelites. Alright. Therefore, this is Deuteronomy 28. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Elohim shall send against thee in hunger, and thirst, and nakedness, and want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. The Elohim shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of furious contents, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. You know, so, man, we know it's like that. Alright, let's get back on this food, man, on this food thing. Yeah, but our enemies, man, if you don't accept us as Israelites and then acknowledge that we are the people that ran into Africa, that broke covenant, you going up against the Creator and you done lost already. But that's like the organizations. Man, I've been speaking to a people in different organizations and stuff, and how these organizations were set up long time ago. And then how these organizations didn't acknowledge or didn't have no clue who the real Israelites were. And that one day, that when the Israelites wake up, that is going to change their plan and their path if their history or goal is not in line with the Israelites' goal and what the Creator want the Israelites to stand for. So you got all these organizations and religions and organizations that's associated with religions that's been carrying on this Israelite mumbo jumbo stuff, knowing that they ain't no Israelites, you know. And then, like I say, some of them been fooled since the almost since the BC days, basically since the Greek times. They've been fooled since the Greek times, thinking that they was Israelites, and a lot of organizations done sprung up, and man, I'm talking about people heritage done been formed off that, and then how they just been so happy with it, but now how it's finna all come tumbling down now. It's finna come tumbling down now, because the real truth is out now, how all the tribes ran into Africa, and that how there's no compromising on that. All the tribes ran into Africa besides that little 1% that was captured and took into Babylon, and them, that's part of the scrap heritage. We're gonna fight for that little bit too. We're gonna, you know what I'm saying, I already got that little bit covered, you know, about the exiles. That little history covered about the exiles. So, you know, it's no getting in. Hey, I was, check it out, Hebrews. Man, I'm so happy because, you know, we waking up as a people. Hey, it is one of them rich bankers, you know, in this estate, you know, he got a big old gate up, and he said, you can knock, but you can't come in. It's finna be like that with the Israelite heritage. You folks keep playing. You folks keep playing with this Israelite heritage. We finna fix it where you can't come in. So you folks better start scrambling right now to try to start doing what's right, because we waking up and we got the Creator on our side, and ain't no weapon formed against us can defeat what Almighty y'all got planned for the Israelites. So, you know, man, there's a lot going on. Alright, check this out, Hebrews. We back on the food. Look, alright, so we know Deuteronomy 8, let me see. And the swine, because it divided the hut, it chewed not the cud, it is unclean to you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcasses. So, you know, we shouldn't be eating no pig. We shouldn't be eating no pig, and you shouldn't be eating no catfish. You know what I'm saying? Because he in the water, and he ain't got no fins and scales. And we Israelites can only eat things that come out the water. They got fins and scales and stuff, and it's kind of important. stuff too, to be mindful of that, because you know you are what you eat. Look, all right. So this is Leviticus 11:9. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever had fins and scales in the water, in the sea, and in the rivers. Them shall ye eat, and all that have not fins and scales in the sea and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and all living things which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. They shall not be even an abomination. They shall be even abomination unto you, and ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcass an abomination. You know, you shall hold a catfish, a shrimp, and a lobster in abomination. Like if somebody trying to feed you a rat. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna let nobody feed you no rat. You know what I'm saying? A rat probably gonna be more cleaner than this, because it ain't even think it ain't got the rat listed, but yes it do, I'm sure. Look, alright. And you see them things an abomination in the eagle, the offspring, in the vulture, the kite, every raven of his kind, the owl, the nighthawk, the chickacoo, the hawk in his kind, the little owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the swan, the pelican, the gyre, eagle, the stark, the heron, after her kind, the lapwing, the bat, all fowls that creepeth going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every creeping thing that goeth upon all fours, which have legs men above their feet. That's the chicken. To leap without upon the earth. You know, we knock that chicken out. You know what I'm saying? And them little birds, them little turkeys, and you know what I'm saying? All them hopping around and stuff. We can knock them off. Even these of them ye may eat, the locusts and of his kind. We ain't finna be eating no locusts, no, not in this day and time. You know, back then they couldn't just pull up at the grocery store and get no food. But all these other foods that he just mentioned, man, they around, and our enemies be trying to force them on us. That's like in our community. Man, if you ever go to what they call like a rich community and you look at the food prices, ah man, and then you go into the so-called black community, the poor Israelite community, and you look at the food prices, that's why all our money going on food. It's awful, man. They do us so bad, man. I'm talking about I was in one of the stores that's kind of up to good, and you know, and man, I'm buying the food, and I'm like, dang, these prices ain't nothing. Man, over there in my part of town, where they selling the eggs, man, it's like almost $4. But over here, eggs $1.50, a loaf of bread, good wheat bread. I'm talking about the good, healthy wheat bread, not the cheap wheat bread, the good wheat bread. No more than $2.50. Over there where I stay at the store, bread, the good bread, almost $6. You know, man, it's awful how they do us. But, you know, that's part of the punishment and being in captivity. But I tell you what, as soon as we start getting ourselves together and start back doing business with each other, then we might can, you know, have something going that could benefit us as a whole and as a people. But right now, man, our health is almost in our enemy's hand, because we don't make nothing and we don't own nothing. You know, but this Leviticus go on to explain that how we shouldn't eat no lizards, no weasels, man, no dead carcasses on the ground. Man, we shouldn't be drinking out of no vessels where them dead carcasses and laid at, man, they go on to explain a whole bunch of, we shouldn't eat no snails and none of that old evil stuff. Look, for I am the Elohim your Yah, and ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourselves with many manner of creeping things that creepeth upon the earth. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff we Israelites were forbidden to eating, and then that's why come our health it is bad, because our enemies know we shouldn't be eating that stuff, and they make it readily available in our community. You know, all right, Hebrews, we should seek unity. Oh man, but guess what? Man, it's kind of hard to unify with some Israelites that just don't hold no truth, because them Israelites be wild and crazy and stuff, with them Jewish myths and stuff in their head, and especially when they ain't ran across no truth or got no sense of what really happened to us based upon Tanakh. Man, some of these Hebrews are crazy. Real crazy. They get to hooping and hollering and, oh, we this and we that. We sailed to Perga. We from Russia and, man, all kind of mess. And, man, Hebrews got, man, all kind of doctrines, but that come from our heritage being stripped from us, and we trying to get together individually because we know that we don't have no foundation that the whole community rely on as Israelites, and that's what the Israelite Brotherhood is establishing. I'm trying to establish being the foundation that all Israelites can come to, no matter what camp you in or what you believe in. If you an Israelite, you can come see what happened to us as an Israelite and then get that understanding, and then you can move from there. My job done. Is that I showed what happened to us and how we broke covenant and the people we dealing with and what kind of people that they are. They something serious. All right, Hebrews, unity. Now, we know that our enemies don't want us to have no unity. And then if we have some unity, they want it to be misguided and misdirected unity, because, they don't want us to have no real unity. You see, if you get with the Israelite Brotherhood and then we get together, we're going to start having some real unity, because we know what happened. We know who we dealing with, and we know what we really supposed to be doing. All of us, first of all, supposed to be worshiping Almighty Yah. And then after that, man, we supposed to be trying to gather our people and then try to make some kind of way to the promised land, and then go from there. Man, it's like, man, I told one of those Jews that, I was corresponding with them, and I wished them well and so forth, and genuinely wished them well. Hey, how you doing? And then I told them, hey, man, I'm gonna be coming over to the promised land one day. Maybe we can meet in person. I ain't heard no more from that individual. That's how it is. But, man, Almighty, y'all making this happen. And then, like I say, if them people is against us coming into heritage, it's futile. They wasting their time. They should be trying to figure out how to soft land this plane that's coming in, because you can't stop it from coming in. It's impossible to stop the Creator Yah's word from taking place. It's impossible. And one of the things that was gonna happen with Almighty Yah people after the punishment is that we was gonna wake up that we was Israelites. The only way to wake up and be sorrowful for our wrongful acts against Almighty Yah is to know that we the Israelites. We can't make a proper atonement, like, forgive us for our sins and what our ancestors did and breaking the covenant for Egyptian religion. We can't say that in our prayer, man, unless we know who we are. And saying that in your prayer, man, you saying, asking for apologies, man, for what happened and how that they don't want us to have no unity, man, to be able to do that, but they can't stop it. Man, they can't stop it. Unity, it's something that we're going to have. And a lot of, that's like a lot of the Israelites, they go flock to them organizations that's using Jewish myths because they want unity and they searching for unity and so forth. But it's unfortunate that right now the organizations that's out are using Jewish myths, and how a lot of those leaders in those organizations got too much pride and they don't want to come to the Israelite Brotherhood, and then we talk this history out and then get it settled on what's right and what ain't right. They don't want to do that because they feel like they finna lose their flock and lose the food that's being put on their plate. So they keeping this old madness going. But it's finna come a time with the Israelite Brotherhood finna be strong, and I'm finna reach out and touch them folks, man, and let them know what time it is and how that we ain't playing with this Israelite history no more, and we ain't playing with this heritage no more, and how it done got serious now. You know, that's how it's finna be soon. All right, check this out, Hebrews. Look, again, you know what I'm saying? This is Ezekiel, the watchman. You know, we got to tell our brothers the truth, especially when you wake up. You know, this will help us form some unity too. You know, and the word of the Elohim, this is Ezekiel 33. And the word of the Elohim came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land, and if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he bloweth the trumpet, and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Now that's what kind of people you dealing with. That's what kind of people you dealing with. It's a trip how they try to say that the enemies come in to the promised land and then just snatched everybody up surprisingly, and didn't nobody know that they was coming. You know, that's how our enemies try to tell the story, to let the enemy just come in and he just took 10 tribes. Did nobody hear him coming, and that the Syrians just came and just snuck up on 10 tribes and took them away. I show in Tanakh that that's a lie. That's a lie. You know, that's like a Hebrew just posted not too long ago, but I think it was on YouTube, saying make a video about the Israeli, the British Israeli thing that they got, saying that how the tribes went all up into Europe. Man, that's child play. You know, that's child play. Anybody should be able to show in Tanakh history that it wasn't no 10 lost tribes. Man, I got so many videos showing that it's no 10 lost tribes, that it's impossible. And that's one of the things that you can say that's impossible, that they cannot prove that it was a 10 lost tribe based on Tanakh history, and that Tanakh history show that it wasn't no 10 lost tribes, and that all the Israelites ran into Africa. And I got a video stating this, and it's something that you just can't disprove. You can get mad and frown and cuss about it and walk away from it, but you can't prove that ain't true. And I show that we ran into Africa, you know, and man, that's a done deal that it wasn't no 10 lost tribes. So the people that's in the British Isles and Europe that's been claiming the Israelite heritage, man, that's finna fold up soon, and they probably already know what's going on. That's why I'm gonna say that they need to hurry up and get with the Israelite organizations, man, before Almighty Yah pull us all the way up, and then we, you know, man, it's a no-no on everything, and then how we got everything scrutinized, you know what I'm saying? But right now, we open, you know what I'm saying? We want to work with everybody, and how we want everybody to be happy. We just want the people to acknowledge that we the Israelites, and stop playing with us with these whole evil names, Negroes, blacks, African Americans, and all that old stuff, and how we ain't playing them games no more. So now what they gonna do? Cause we ain't the Negroes no more. We ain't the blacks and the African Americans, and we plainly stating our Israelite heritage, and that we are the Israelites in the Tanakh that broke covenant for Egyptian religion, which caused the transatlantic slave trade. It's that simple, and how Tanakh show that and prove that. And it ain't a rabbi, a pope, or a preacher, or nothing that can change that. So, you know, the people that's claiming our heritage, mean they didn't go into Africa and suffer the tragedies that we have suffered, that's called the curses, man, it's over with. I feel sorry for y'all, especially if we get the form and all together. It's a wrap, because it ain't nothing you gonna be able to do. And then we're gonna let you know that you ain't an Israelite, and then we're gonna put our foot down. We're gonna put our foot down real hard. But right now, you know, the plane, we're trying to land, so you can help the plane land safely and as gently as we can, because if we come in with a hard landing, man, into the promised land, a hard landing into the promised land, man, you know how we Israelites is. And the Israelite Brotherhood doctrine gonna stand. It's gonna stand. And the Israelite Brotherhood, the spokesman for the whole Israelite community. All right, check this out. We know that, I'm just reading how we got to, tell each other, which calls unity. We got to tell each other the truth and be truthful. All right, and the word of the Elohim came again unto me. This is Ezekiel 33. Son of man, speak unto the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land and blow the trumpet and warn the people, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him. But he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, he is taken away in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand. So thou, son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word at my mouth, and warn them from me. And when I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou doest not seek to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thee in hand. It's kind of like that now for the Hebrews that don't know Almighty Yah, that is doing the wickedness and die in their iniquity. Man, that happened all the time. But if you an Israelite and you know that you could have told that person about Almighty Yah to change his ways and to help them, and then that you guilty, that's happening right now. You guilty. That's like a lot of Hebrews got family members. They ain't even tried to push this over on their family members and say, hey, y'all, this is what's happening. This is what's going on. And this is where we at. We ain't the African Americans and we ain't the Negroes. We are the Israelites. And then explain to them how we the Israelites. Then you done did the job of the watchman. You done did the job of the watchman. All right. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in this iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. Therefore, O thou son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. Now listen, this is during the Babylonian wars. This is the first time that the Babylonians snatched some of the people up, was after King Josiah was killed, and this is when the book of Ezekiel is going to be 595 BC. How the book of Ezekiel should be before the book of Jeremiah, and how the book of Jeremiah is the end of the actions that we didn't do in the book of Ezekiel, and how we was robbing and stealing and killing. And then that's what happened in the book of Jeremiah to bring our end. All right. Therefore, son of man, speak unto the house of Israel. You see Israel still around. Thus ye speak, saying, if our transgressions and our sins be upon us, and we pain away in them, how should we then live? Say unto them, as I live, saith the Elohim, I have no pleasure in the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn from his way and live. Turn ye from your evil ways. For why shall ye die, O house of Israel? Therefore, thou son of man, say unto the children of thy people, the righteous of the righteous shall not deliver him. The righteous of the righteous shall not deliver him in the day of his transgression. As for the wickedness of the wicked, he shall not fall thereby in the day that he turneth from his wickedness. Neither shall the righteous be able to live for his righteousness in the day that he sinneth. When I shall say to the righteous that he shall surely live, if he trust to his own righteousness and commit iniquity, all his righteousness shall not be remembered. But for his iniquity that he had committed, he shall die for it. Man, it's like that now today. It's the same as then. It's the same as it is now. And again, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, if he turn from his sin and do that which is lawful and right, if the wicked restore the pledge given again that he had robbed, and walk in the statutes of life without committing iniquity, he shall surely live, and he shall not die. And that's like our people. Man, we got a bad habit of robbing. We got a bad habit of robbing, man. I'm talking about we just been robbing each other and just robbing non-stop. From the biblical days all the way up to now. Soon as we was robbing in the promised land. The only time we didn't get a chance to rob each other was on the plantation when the beast had his foot on our neck. Then we ain't do no robbing with each other. But then as soon as he let his foot up off our neck, we start back robbing each other. We ain't gonna never have no unity long as we got the robbers among us, and how that robbing spirit, man, gonna have to be transformed into something else, because the robbing is what's taking us down today in our community. Man, we more of a victimized by our own kind than anything. All right. None of his sins that he had committed shall be mentioned unto him that had done that which is lawful and right. He shall surely live. Yet the children of thy people say, the way of the Lord is not equal. The way of the Elohim is not equal. But as for them, their way is not equal. When the righteous turneth from his righteousness and committed iniquity, he shall even die therein. But if the wicked turn from his wickedness and do that which is lawful and right, he shall live thereby. Yet ye say the way of the Elohim is not equal. All ye house of Israel, I will judge you everyone after his ways. And it come to pass, and you see, and that's sure enough the way that it is, and I can tell you how, I used to have a bad habit of, causing mischief and stuff, but I would do my mischief in a whole different way. I would target the people that had something, but nevertheless, it was still the same. And then as I matured and I found out that Almighty Yah will provide for you and you ain't got to live like that, man, I changed my ways, and it's been for the better. I'm here to tell you. All right, I'm gonna read this. This is what we need for unity, is that we need to the leaders, man. We need a better choice. Everybody can't be the leader, and everybody that's a leader shouldn't be able to lead, for the simple reason that, man, as an Israelite, man, that is real serious. You got to know our history and who we dealing with. If you don't know who we dealing with and you can't recite our history with our enemies and the people that we had included, and then it matched Tanakh history, then you shouldn't be no leader in the Israelite community. And it's like it's a lot of Hebrews call themselves kings and leaders and so forth. And then if you look at their history, man, they be whack. Man, I'm talking about that junk be pure crazy. And if any Hebrew be getting with them, it's going to be almost like a Charles Manson thing, getting with that type of crew and stuff, because some of the Hebrews are mad and their doctrine is crazy. And there be a lot of those New Testament doctrines and so forth. All right, check this out. And the word of the Elohim came unto me. This is Ezekiel 34. And the word of the Elohim came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophecy against the shepherds of Israel, saying unto them, this said the Elohim Yah unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherds of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? You know what I'm saying? And then that's them preachers in them churches, man. I'm talking about they robbing the Israelites and they doing a great damage. And then how they are, the church is the continuation of slavery. Now, if you want to know what an institution that has survived and been around since our people been here, is the church come from the slavery days. I mean, we ain't even got no schools coming from the slavery days, but they got churches coming from the slavery days. I'm talking about the whole doctrine and ideology of the church come from the slavery days. That's the only thing that the slave owner sanctioned, is that he sanctioned Christianity by allowing the church to exist and then the people to fall up in there, and how that's been an ongoing tradition, and how ain't no truth in no church. There's no church is there truth in it. There ain't no truth in no church. Ain't no church telling you that we the Israelites and that we should only worship Almighty Yah, and that we shouldn't worship demigods, and that how that we are the people that broke the covenant for Egyptian religion. Ain't no church doing that. Ain't no preacher doing that. So all those preachers are false. Yeah, them preachers are charismatic and they get the hooping and hollering and mumbling, and the people love a good old performance. Man, that's all to be about. They go put their clothes on Sundays, and then they go up to the church hoping to see a good show. That's been going on since the slavery days, and it's almost still slavery on the people, because the people can't see what's going on or see no truth. You know, they think that they Christians and Jesus and done died for their sins. Now they good to go. They could walk around sinning all day long because somebody done died for their sins. And how that they don't know that that whole concept is come from Egyptian worship, Egyptian religion. I explained the whole IS Horus concept is what Christianity come from. So these preachers in them churches preaching them lies, y'all days coming too. Y'all days coming too, and how you ain't gonna be able to push them lies over to the Israelites. As soon as the people start waking up, it's gonna be like a rap, man, on the church. And then how one of them videos, man, I was watching where these devils causing mischief, talking about exposing the Hebrew Israelites, and how the devil say that it's one of the fastest growing phenomena around, and how that the people claiming to be Israelites, the transatlantic slave trade descendants are claiming to be Israelites, is finna, you know, rival the church, and how that the church ain't gonna hardly have no members, and that they need to develop a strategy to keep them in the church, and how that they need to go to the Paul and Peter doctrines and try to keep the slaves, the descendants, trapped into the church philosophy and stuff. Man, I should have recorded it. I probably go back and get it. And then how that they got to come up, and how the church got to come up with a quick plan to try to keep the slavery descendants in Christianity, because this Israelite phenomena is finna take over in 5 years. And then that devil just don't know that we waking up, and how it was a prophecy for us to wake up anyway, and how ain't no church, no religions or nothing gonna stop that, and how ain't no organizations or nothing gonna be able to stop that. You know, they can't even slow it down. All right. Ezekiel 34. And the Elohim came unto me, and the word of the Elohim came unto me, son of man, prophecy been against the shepherds of Israel, saying unto them, this saith the Elohim Yah unto the shepherds, woe be to the shepherd of Israel that do feed themselves. Should not the shepherds feed the flocks? Yet the fat, and ye eat the fat, and ye clothe ye with the wool. Ye kill them that are fed, but ye feed not the flock. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed that which was sick, neither have ye bound up that which was broken, neither have ye bought again that which was driven away, neither have ye sought that which was lost, but have forced, and with cruelty have ye ruled them. And that's what they happening in them churches. Man, them people being ruled with an iron fist up in there. And some of them preachers, man, if the members talking about getting up out of there, mean how he almost guarding the door with a shotgun when they get you up in the church, and how that them folks will come after you. You know what I'm saying? In them churches, when you try to break away from their wickedness, and how all churches got a whole bunch of wickedness and craftiness going on, and how they try to paint the picture of pride, of piety and so forth, and how it's nothing but evil and wickedness in the church. And you can't expect nothing but evil and wickedness in the church. It's because they worship demigods. You know, they worship a demigod. All right. The disease have ye not strengthened, neither have ye healed. That which was sick, neither have ye bound up. That which was broken, neither have ye brought again. That which was driven away, neither have ye sought. That which was lost, but have forced with cruelty have ye ruled them. And they were scattered because there was no shepherd, and they become meat to all the beasts of the field when they were scattered. That's like now. Ain't no leaders in the community. You know, the Israelite Brotherhood is spokesperson for the community, but outside that, man, if you listen to them Israelite doctrines, man, them folks in left field, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on, but soon as the Israelites get to HQ, we're going to start training, and we're going to start getting Israelites out in the community, not on no corners and no streets hooping and hollering, but going to them institutions and to them churches and to them peoples, trying to talk to them and show how we the Israelites, and try to bring everybody together. All right. My shepherd wandered through all the mountains and upon every high hill. Yeah, my flock was scattered upon all the face of the earth, and none did search or seek after them. Therefore, ye shepherds, hear the word of the Elohim. As I live, said the Elohim, surely because my flock become prey, and my flock become meat to every beast of the field, because there was no shepherd, neither did my shepherds search for my flock, but the shepherds fed themselves, and feed not my flock. Therefore, all ye shepherds, hear the word of the Elohim. This said the Elohim, Yah, behold, I am against the shepherds, and I will require my flock at their hand, and cause them to cease from feeding the flock. That's going to be when the truth get to the people, and then they realize they going to be conned up in them churches, that the preacher been running the con game. Neither shall the shepherd feed themselves anymore, for I will deliver my flock from their mouth, that they may not be meat for them. For this said the Elohim, behold, I will both search my sheep and seek them out, as a shepherd seek out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered. So will I seek out my sheep, and I will deliver them out of all the places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. And I will bring them out from the people, and gather them from the countries, and will bring them to their own land, and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers. And I will and in all the inhibited places of the country. You see, so Almighty Yah finna the truth about us being Israelites finna knock the church loose. Us waking up to our Israelite heritage is finna knock the church loose, and then we gonna find unity, because you ain't finna get no unity from the church. It ain't been none at the church. Ain't been no unity at the church. That's why come they got 50 churches for one block. One block got 10 churches on it. Ain't no unity. That ain't unity, and they supposed to have been worshiping the same God, but it's 20 churches on one block. Ain't no unity, and the unity is going to be in the Israelites waking up to their heritage, and then finding out between the difference between who doing Jewish history, and then who not doing Jewish history, and then the ones that's not passing Jewish myths off as Israelite history. That's the way to go. Because 9 out of 10, if you ain't using Jewish history, ain't nothing left but the truth. You can't go invent no history. You can't go invent no history in the BC days. You can't go invent no history back then. That history is locked in. And then if that history don't match the Tanakh, then, something wrong. All right. For this said the Elohim, behold, I will both search out my sheep and seek them out. You know what I'm saying? He gonna search for his sheep and seek them out. As a shepherd seek out his flock in the day that he is among his sheep that are scattered, so will I seek out my sheep, and I will deliver them out of all the places where they have been scattered in the cloudy and dark day. That's coming soon. And I will bring them out from the people, and gather them from the countries, and I will bring them to their own land, and feed them upon the mountains of Israel by the rivers, and in all the inhabited places of the country. And I will feed them in a good pasture, and upon the high mountains of Israel shall their fold be. There shall they lie in a good fold, and in a fat pasture shall they feed upon the mountains of Israel. And I will feed my flock, and I will cause them to lie down said the Elohim Yah, and I will seek that which was lost, and bring again that which was driven away, and I will bind up that which was broken, and I will strengthen that which was sick. But I will destroy the fat and the strong, and I will feed them with judgment. And as for you, O my flock, this said the Elohim Yah, behold, I judge between cattle, and between rams and the he goats. Seemeth it a small thing unto you to have eaten up the good pastures, but ye must tread down your feet the residue of your pastures, and to have drunk the deep. Hey, but anyway, the Creator gonna gather us, and we're gonna have some unity when the Creator gathers, regardless. But we can start having some unity now. We can start having some unity now. We can start having some unity now. And it's like Almighty Yah, everything He said is coming to pass, and there's no getting around it. You know how enemies can't, change prophecy. They can try to work and help prophecy, but they can't change prophecy. You know what I'm saying? That's like this here. Almighty Yah said this. Alright, let me read this. Alright, no weapon that is formed against us is gonna work. And our enemies got a whole lot of plans, but them plans ain't gonna work. This is a message from the Israelite Brotherhood. Alright. Let's see what this say. Ho, everyone, this is Isaiah 55. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye, buy and eat. Yeah, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do ye spend money for that which is not bread, and your labor for that which satisfy not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good, and let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto here, and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the assurance of David. So come, behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and a commander to the people. Behold, thou shalt call a nation that thou knowest not, and nations that know not thee shall run unto thee, because of the Elohim thy Yah, and for the Holy One of Israel, for he hath glorified thee. Seek ye the Elohim while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto the Elohim, and he will have mercy upon him, and to our Yah, for he will have abundantly pardon. For my thoughts are not of your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, said the Elohim. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. For as the rain cometh down and the snow from heaven, and returneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please it, said the Elohim. Alright. Alright. Shall prosper in that thing unto. Alright, for it shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace, and mountains in the hills shall break forth, because ye see, before you enter singing, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. Instead, the thorn shall come up in the fir tree, instead of the berries shall come up in the myrtle trees. But check this out. This is what Almighty Yah said. Look, no weapon that is formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rises against thee in judgment thou shalt condemn. This is the heritage of the servants of the Elohim. Their righteousness is of me, said the Elohim. So whoever form a weapon against us, they can hang it up. They can hang it up. They can hang it up. Alright, Hebrews, we can have some unity. We can have some unity, but it's going to have to be based upon Tanakh history, showing how we ran into Africa during the Babylonian Wars. And, there's some things that we can do in this captivity. As Israelites, we can reject the religions. We can reject the unclean foods like pork and seafoods and stuff. And then, we can, try to seek out Hebrews that, worship Almighty Yah. So we can have some unity, some things that we can do. Some things that we can do. And as soon as the Israelite Brotherhood, get what I got to do, then, man, we're going to go to a whole nother level. Shalom, Hebrews. This is Israel ben Israel for the Israelite Brotherhood.